Hello everyone. So I'm sitting here and I said, you know what? Why not make a video to post for my vlog one time? So it's Thursday. Today's what? I think the 5th of April? No, the 4th of April. And it's the last night of the cruise I'm on. I have my wine here. And I decided to make this vlog. So let's go. I have, when school closed the Friday, the Saturday night I went to the airport to leave for New York. And, you know, the flight was delayed. I don't know, this always overdo it, yeah? But this time I traveled with American Airlines, but they had a delay. And it was for a few hours. So we ended up leaving early the Saturday morning. So I reached New York the Saturday morning. I had to wait, the Sunday morning, sorry. I had to wait till my mom to come pick me up because what happened? She stayed awake until I messaged to say, you know, the plane is leaving, because I would still get a little service when the plane is leaving. So I messaged, so then is when she went to bed. So she slept through and got to play. But I didn't mind. I was always waiting on her. I had my ears plugged up. I was listening to music on my phone. And then she picked me up. And then I spent the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday with her. Yeah. And I left Tuesday night to go to Connecticut. And I had a relaxing time there. I enjoyed time with my mom, because the truth is, I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't call my mom every day. You know, when I get into my work schedule, I have moved into this thing now where, like, my world is at the center, because it's my life. So, like, I try to do what I have to do on a daily basis. I cook for my siblings and myself and my siblings. I go to my job. I have job number 2 in the afternoon, and I have my work for my studies at the University of Guyana, because I'm doing a postgrad. And then, you know, the other little things I do for church, whatever. So a lot of times I'm caught in my own bubble. So sometimes I call her, sometimes she calls me, but we don't call like every day, to be quite honest with you all. So, but doesn't mean I love my mom any less. But anyways, so we spent that time together. Then I went with my sister. We had a nice time. We went to this hibachi and buffet restaurant. I enjoyed myself. And I just spent most of the time there with my sister completing my work for UG. I have an assignment that's due on Monday, and I get back home Sunday afternoon. So I said, you know what, let me do the assignment. I finished most of it. I just have to do the reference page and a short concluding paragraph. And I'll do that, if not Sunday, I'll do it Monday, because Monday is due and I'll just send it off. And then I had some work to do for research. I didn't finish all of it, but I said, you know what, at least let me do a part of it and submit it for the lecturer to check, and I did that. So most of my time when I went there, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, was filled with doing that. And then Friday evening, we went to the airport and we left for Puerto Rico. Now, what shocked me, when we went to Puerto Rico, we didn't have to clear immigration. And why is that so? Because Puerto Rico is considered an extension of America, of the US. So we didn't have to pass. So when we came off the plane, we walked through right where the persons who were going to depart on that same aircraft, we walked through there. And I remember telling my sister, I said, you know what? When we were at the airport waiting to go to Puerto Rico, and we used JetBlue, she said, I said to her, I noticed the people who just arrived, they're walking through this part here, and why is that so? Why they're not clearing immigration? But then I get it. Those flights are considered domestic because it's within the country. So, anyways, the flight was delayed, JetBlue, and I laughed because I said, man, I thought it's only with Guyana to America, JetBlues do the delay thing, but even within America, but it made sense. They had bad weather and they had to do their own thing, but the plane came. We left. I think the flight was 4 hours long. It was a good flight. We got upgraded to these what's called easy seats, which means you have the seat is a little bigger. You have more leg room, which was awesome. I loved it. And you know, I got to do my little reading of my book. I was reading this book at the time. I continued my reading of this book, and it was good. We reached Puerto Rico. I was excited because it's a new country. At least I could take it off. And when we arrived to Puerto Rico, I was shocked that we didn't have to do immigration, but that's all right. We had to wait a long time for the bags, but that was all right. We collected our bags and we stayed at a hotel right there because we reached Puerto Rico the Saturday morning and we had to get ready for the cruise the Saturday afternoon. So we went there and we had to check out to find the hotels right at the airport, right? But because it's called San Juan in I think, is it San Juan International, San Juan Airport. But oh God, don't talk to fines. And remember, we don't know Spanish. We had to really look at the signs and speak to the people there who understood our English. We found there, checked in, was nice. We got up the Saturday morning. We had our breakfast because the hotel gives you a complimentary breakfast. And then we just went back relaxed and then we got ready for the cruise. We left the airport and my sister was going to get an Uber, but she saw some tourists came out of a car and she asked them, they said it's a private car. So my sister asked the guy, he said, you know, I can take you all for $25, which was good. And he took us to where we had to go, but first he took us to the wrong place. But then we got the information, we went to the right port and we got ready for the cruise. And then we're here on the cruise, Royal Caribbean. And we, you know, we did the cruise. We tagged our bags, did all the things, bought our little tags to put the card in, etc. Got on and it was really amazing because, you know, this is my first time on a cruise like this. It never really was something I had like planned, but then when my sister proposed the idea to me last year, I said, you know what, that's a good idea, let's do it. And what really attracted me to the cruise would be the fact that we were going to 3 destinations that I've never been to: St. Martin, St. Thomas, which is a part of the U.S. Virgin Islands, and St. Kitts. And then as a bonus, I would get to go to Puerto Rico because that's where we had to board the boat. So I said yes. We had our fun. We went to St. Martin on that day. My uncle, my mom's brother, let me tell you, them, I'll give you a whole tour of the island. Him and his wife, they have a business, food business. They cook for us. Let me tell you, we eat. It was nice. Then the next day, St. Thomas, I was most excited for that. We did a sky drakes activity. Don't talk about the sky drakes. It was a little underwhelming because it wasn't exactly what I thought it would have been, but it was great. The views, it was amazing. And then for St. Kitts, let me tell you, oh my, I think that excursion has left a mark on my heart and my mind because the tour guide, as he was sharing the history of the island from where it came from to now, I was amazed, and it left me with this thought that every place and space we enter into, there's a history. For example, in this room I'm in, people have been in this room before, many other people, and only God knows what they've done in this room, but this room of itself has a history behind it. All right? And I think sometimes it's good when we can to learn the history of the places and spaces we enter so we know what our presence can bring. Because if the history is not a good history, is this a place and space I should be in? If the history is good, what more can I contribute? And sometimes if the history is bad, how can I contribute to some positive kind of change? I really hope that's connecting with someone. For example, one of the things we learned when we went to St. Kitts is that the indigenous people are there obviously first, and then I think he said the British and another group, I can't remember the French or the Spaniards, I don't want to mix it up, but I know the British were there and another group, and the indigenous people felt like, you know what, these British and the other group is going to try to run them out, so they were planning to fight them. And he said, the rumor has it, or a tale has it, that there was this indigenous woman who fell in love with a British man, and she go and tell them the plan that, you know, these people planning to get you out. And while the indigenous people were praying on their ground that was sanctified, these people launched an attack and killed them in numbers. The few that survived, they escaped off the island. So they have a point there that they call Bloody Point, because for days the blood of the people was running down into the river. Like, oh, even as I talk about and think about, like, it's something I'm going to go home and do a lot of research on. It fascinated me and it hurt me to know that, wow. But you know, St. Kitts has still managed to rise up and thrive, and do well for themselves as a country, as an island. In St. Martin, what I love about the island is, like I always say, there are two countries in one. You have the Dutch part and the French part, and the culture is different. You know when you're in the Dutch area, you know when you're in the French area. It's like two countries in one, literally. And St. Thomas was just beautiful. You could see the trace from the Danish roots, because at one point the tour guide said they were owned by the Danes. So you can see that. For example, they drive on the left hand side, and the academic person in me, the artist in me, love the experience I gained from those 3 excursions. And then we spent 2 days on board. Today's the last day on just cruising. And for me, my sister was like, I want to do this, but for me, all I wanted to do was sleep and read. And today I finally finished this book. Let me tell you all, in my life, the best memoir I've read would have been Viola Davis' Finding Me. The second best one would be this one. And the third best one would be, why do I have to think about it so long? It would be Glennon Doyle's Untamed. And Glennon Doyle Untamed, I listened to it on Audible, and I plan to listen to it again, during the summer vacation, because that book has left an indelible mark on my heart. But I love memoirs. I love listening to them. I love reading them. And with this book, this is what it's called a page turner. I could not put this book down. Yeah, I hear what I'm saying. I couldn't put this book. I am in love with this book, and it just reminded me of when I was reading Finding Me by Viola. So I encourage anybody to get this book. So I finished this book today. So I told my sister, I said, man, for me, just relaxing, getting a lot of sleep, reading a book, watching a TV show, and so on is good for me. And I enjoy that. And then tomorrow we leave. Tomorrow, Friday, we're going to get up, we have breakfast. Then we're going to leave, head to the airport. We're going to spend most of our time at the airport. And one thing I love about other airports outside of Guyana, you can actually go into the airport, enjoy whatever amenities are there, and then do your check-in when it's time. So that's what we're going to do, because we ain't got no time for no tour Miami with all the luggage we have. Straight to the airport and find a nice part. We'll get a nice points to charge up our phone, use a little free Wi-Fi, and that's it. But to get to what more do I want to say? I'm going to be breaking down my trip more in depth though on my TikTok, so feel free to follow me at Forever Blessed 98. But the only thing I want to say, the Wi-Fi crappy. So I haven't been able to post consistently on TikTok, because the one day I tried, don't talk how long, the video took too long. So I said, you know what, when I get home I'll do this. And don't talk in Guyana right now, I hear blackout tearing tail. So may God be with me with the blackout. Because my phone battery this week, I really need to buy a backup battery. But getting to the moral of this video, the bottom line of this video, this trip reminded me of something, that I am my most prized possession. That I am worthy of love. And sometimes when we think about worthy of love, we like to think about that from other people. I am worthy of my own love. I am desirable. I have so much I bring to the table. And when I know my worth, other people have to fall in line with that frequency. What do I mean? Everybody can't afford a Porsche or a Lamborghini or so on. That does not change the value of a Porsche and a Lamborghini. Those who can afford it will purchase it and enjoy it. And we need to have the same way about the access that we give people to our life. Not everyone is deserving of our goodness, of grace from us. I don't think everyone deserves to be in our space and to receive our energy. No. Some people are like poison, and we need to be careful and stay far from those people. And you know, this trip reminded me, and that's why I was just sitting here thinking, and that inspired me to make this video now that I'm really inspired. This trip was another reminder from God to me that it is possible. Let me tell you all, I am ready to be a full-time artist. I'm ready for it, but I have to wait on God's times. And I don't know, God's time could be now, tomorrow, I don't know. But I know my heart is in a stage where it's like, I'm believing now more than ever. And I think that's what God wants, because I have to believe. I have to believe that I'm going to be a New York Times best-selling author. I have to believe that I'll be able to act. I have to believe that I'll be able to write more, and not only books but scripts. I have to believe that I have what it takes to produce, to direct. Like, if those dreams are within me, and this trip reminded me. I remember days I would look at St. Thomas and be like, we actually going there? And I remember when I was there, I was like, wow. You know, before the trip, a thing that I face a lot before I go on vacations, anxiety, as if something bad is going to happen, and I realize I have to confront a lot of, I still have a lot of deep-rooted fear of death, of failure, suicidal, like sometimes the thoughts want to be there. So I have to face those, that part of myself, and I want to use the 13 weeks in next term as I go back home to really, I want to work on myself again. I have kind of given up on my health journey, and I'm going to get back into it when I go home. I am coming off of sugar. I'm not going to be eating those sweet things anymore. I'm going to be watching my portions. I'm going to, because for me, once I change my diet, my body starts responding. So I may even go into a period of fasting as well, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to be disciplined. I have to do it for me. Because I've let myself go a little and I've put on back weight. In this trip, I'm going to lie to you, eating me not no discipline. I eat from, as we saying, and rope to slope. So I want to get my health back in order. Gotta go to the dentist. I have some financial commitments that I have to honor, I need to honor. So when I get back home, I want to get back into my focus, into my groove, and just allow God to do what He has to do in my life. So to wrap this video up, the bottom line really is believe in yourself, believe in the power of God and what He can do in your life. And know, this is really the last bit of encouragement. It is possible. You have to believe it first in your heart, and you have to work towards it. Stay blessed, everyone. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. I love you all.